Good afternoon. It's good to have you join us today on Nationwide. I am Tessie Justin Bisong. The Senate has directed its Committee on Judiciary and Foreign Affairs to invite the Attorney General of the Federation to shed light on issues of transfer and sentence persons with regard to the agreement entered into between Nigeria and the United Kingdom. The decision followed a motion moved by the Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekweremadu, and the urgent need to regularize such agreement. Some senators suggested that efforts should be made to ensure that all constitutional and legal requirements in the agreement are met. The matter was referred to Senate Committee on Judiciary and Foreign Affairs for further legislative action to be returned in 4 weeks.
Constitution. Let us look at all these issues and then try to also mount pressure on the executive through the office of the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice to bring all the things that they have entered into from 2007 and even beyond 2007 to the National Assembly, for the National Assembly to look at them holistically and then ratify them.
Still on legislative matters, the House of Representatives has called for the immediate review of the national minimum wage. This is sequel to a motion under matter of urgent public importance moved by the Chairman, House Committee on Labour, Representative Onyewuchi Ezenwa. Ignatius Nkwo has more from the Green Chamber.
Well, yesterday, Nigerian workers joined their counterparts globally to celebrate Workers' Day, and a lot of issues were raised, well, especially the issues of the welfare of Nigerian workers. The Speaker of the House of Representatives and the Senate President were also at the Eagle Square yesterday to commemorate and commend Nigerian workers, to show solidarity to them. And then on the floor today, members also continue with this commendation, but however, brought the issue of making sure that Nigerian workers, that their welfare is improved. And a motion came under matter of urgent public importance. That motion was moved by the Chairman, House Committee on Labour, Representative Onyewuchi. He's here to tell us more on what that his motion seeks to achieve.
You see, in other countries, just like I said during the plenary, that in other countries they were celebrating the landmark achievements, successes recorded by labor. But in Nigeria today, I think what we celebrated and still celebrating is the resilience of labor.
Some people in some quarters are saying that at a time when some state governors could not even pay the 18,000 minimum wage, do you think the increment is visible?
Well, the feasibility of it is such that, if you also remember, you will agree with me that the bailout funds were given to state governments. Up to today, some of them are still owing their workers. So it is not a factor of receiving money. It is a factor of the willingness on the part of the state government to pay workers.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Well, the House also considered a bill for an act to amend the Explosives Act of 2004. That bill, among others, seeks to create more stringent penalties and then to control the importation, storage and distribution of explosives like firecrackers. It's now back to the studio.
Thank you, Ignatius. The first batch of 1,000 women have graduated from the various skills acquisition program in Kano, courtesy of the Future Assured program of the wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports that the training, which took place at the Women's Center in Kano, is aimed at empowering women economically as well as to improve their living standard.
The 4 weeks program is expected to train 2,200 women, and the first set of 1,000 women have graduated within the 2 weeks of the commencement of the program. It is the Train the Trainer program, with participants cutting across the 44 local government areas of Kano State. The women have participated in cosmetics making, such as liquid wash and soap, air freshener and perfume. They also gained knowledge on how to make body spray, body wash and hair cream, as well as petroleum jelly. They participated in spices making, such as chili and tea, as well as curry powder.
At least we have about 2,200.
The representative of the wife of the president, Ramoto Mukhtar Rabiu, said The wife of the president committed in supporting women to realize their full potentials.
She's trying to help the women, especially the widows.
The participants are optimistic that with this knowledge, they can support their families and train other women.
If not this place, now I will be sleeping in the house for nothing.
We can hold ourselves, our children, and even our neighbors. We really appreciate her.
She has given them the knowledge that they will go and teach other people. It's not only for their own benefit, for others' benefit.
Mrs. Buhari urged all Nigerians to partner Future Short program in order to improve the lives of women and children. In Kano, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has restated CBN's commitment to support the public and private sectors in enhancing the agricultural sector. Mr. Emefiele stated this at the official groundbreaking of the White Refined Sugar Factory at Gagarawa local government area of Jigawa State. Mohammed Rabiu Ali reports.
The rice and wheat production, which are under the CBN Anchor Borrowers program, has effectively impacted the lives of Nigerian farmers and improved the economy. To reinvigorate the sector, sugarcane is now part of the Anchor Borrowers program to reduce dependence on importation of the commodity. At the groundbreaking ceremony of the factory, CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele says states government have answered the clarion call of President Muhammadu Buhari in diversifying the economy through agriculture, assuring Jigawa State Governor of full support.
Whatever support you need to get this project on ground, so that in the next couple of months you can come back and launch the program. That support I assure you today, you will get from Central Bank of Nigeria.
Minister of Agriculture Adu Obe, together with Governor Muhammadu Badr Abubakar, expressed commitment with the proposed sugar projects by Lee Group, saying it will strengthen the agricultural sector in the country.
The federal government's support will be completely behind this program. We also hope that once you've established this massive plantation here, you will also begin to expand into other parts of the state and other parts of the country.
Of the 12,000 hectares for which full compensation has been paid by the investor, 6,000 hectares will be the core sugar estate, cultivated entirely by the factory.
The sugar factory, under the auspices of Lee Group of companies, is the first of its kind in the Northwest Geopolitical Zone. The project, when completed, will provide direct and indirect employment to 5,000 workers, as well as produce 120,000 metric tons of sugar per annum. From Gagarawa local government area of Jigawa State, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
For each of the Sustainable Development Goals, which has specified targets to be reached and achieved over the next 15 years, experts strongly believe all key players must do their part. Justin Bem Unyi in this report sought to find out the involvement of youth to contributing to a sustainable future.
United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, are a set of 17 universal goals for global economic development, prosperity, human dignity, peace, justice, and partnerships. They have been agreed upon by virtually every nation on earth and will remain in effect until 2030.
People in power, the governments, they are the people in this position.
On the contrary, where SDGs are seen to be relevant to governments and elites alone, the young people are said to be at the heart of the SDG framework.
When you see a problem in your community, you should take an action to improve the community. You should be part of the solution, not be part of the problem. Okay. So through enhancing this mentality within the youth community, within young people, of not being passive, of not waiting for the government to solve all the problems that we have, of just initiating solutions, being part of the solution. This is helping them. This is helping in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals.
The words children, young and youth are mentioned 33 times in the framework, with at least 10 out of the 17 goals directly related to the youth and their development.
Worldwide and even in Nigeria, youths are getting up and rising up to the challenge.
to let the society know that the future belongs to them. And if this generation cannot handle it, then definitely the next generation, we have to inherit the problems. So we, this generation, must take the responsibility to ensure that our society benefits a lot and we leave a better, cleaner, and good society for the incoming generation.
Youth development experts suggest that with active involvement of young people around the world, reaching the SDG is possible, noting that change can only be made possible with the youth carried along.
You cannot create change by yourself. You can take the first step, but to make this change sustainable, you need to involve all stakeholders. So it's their role to find those solutions, but also collaborate with the local community, with the government, with other youth organizations, with civil society organizations, with the United Nations, with every stakeholder that's there in their community who can help providing this sustainable solution.
There is an advocacy that the UN and member states need to recognize the power of youth in making the SDGs a success story, and as such, create opportunity for them to flourish. In Abuja, Justin Bem-Unyi, NTA News.
The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, has announced a tripartite partnership involving his ministry, United Nations World Tourism Organization, and global news leader CNN to leverage on Nollywood to promote tourism in Nigeria. The minister, who announced the plan at the annual general meeting of the Nigerian Association of Tour Operators in Lagos, said talks are at an advanced stage to forge a strong and effective partnership by using comparative advantage in film production through Nollywood to promote tourism in Nigeria. Explaining that the path was not trodden before and that it will go a long way in making it possible for tourism to thrive from the backbone of the mainstream of the economy. He appealed to tourism stakeholders to work with the federal government to ensure the success of the 2018 UNWTO CAF meeting, the hosting rights of which Nigeria won at the last edition of the meeting in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia last month. He urged the private sector to partner with the government to grow the tourism industry and provide the necessary skills, competencies, and ingredients for growth and progress. The minister used the opportunity to appeal to stakeholders to package and promote Nigeria destinations, goods and services, saying it will create direct and indirect employment through tourism, grow the economy, increase the national GDP, position Nigeria as an all-year-round tourism destination, and establish a worthwhile, acceptable, and recognizable image of the country amongst tourists. He said as part of efforts to improve Nigeria's ranking on the Tourism Competitive Index of the World Travel and Tourism Council, the government has set up a presidential council on the ease of doing business and disclosed that the council has completed in 60 days 31 reforms across its 8 priority indicators in areas such as simplified visa on arrival process, infrastructural improvements at the Abuja airport, and the new immigration regulation 2017. The wife of the Vice President commissions breast cancer in Lagos as the British Army visits Nigeria Medical Corps. Vera brings us details from Lagos Network Center. Hello, Vera.
Tessie, good evening and welcome to Lagos. Succor and relief have come the way of Nigerian women with the establishment of the state-of-the-art Breast and Gynecology Center in Nigeria. Wife of the Vice President, Dolapo Shibajo, said the center will not only address several health challenges peculiar to women, but will reduce medical tourism. She said this when she inaugurated the Breast and Gynecology Center of the Reddington Hospital Group in Lagos. In addition to the Reddington Hospital Group is designed who oftentimes are unable to get the required therapies in one place. Wife of the Vice President, Dolapo Shibajo, said every woman deserves the care the center hopes to address.
This service will ensure that there is less medical tourism. Nigerian doctors
treating Nigerians with cutting-edge procedures that is first in Africa.
The Chief Executive Officer, Reddington Hospital Group, Adeyemi Onabowale, who spoke glowingly of the hospital's many firsts, to include the closure of a hole in the heart by a non-surgical procedure and the establishment of an integrated radiography center, said the establishment of the center was informed by the absence of internationally acceptable criteria for addressing women's health in Nigeria.
The first hospital in Nigeria to win the Nigerian Health Accreditation Award as provider of the year for the year 2014-2015.
Among the many dignitaries who attended the occasion were the wife of the governor of Ondo State, a cancer survivor of 20 years standing, Betty Akeredolu. She asked women to always do self-examination as early detection is key to treatment. The center will also offer other specialized services such as cardiology, general surgery, ear, eye, nose and throat. A team of experts from outside the country explained the workings of the advanced technologies to the gathering. Local and foreign investors have been challenged to take the advantage of the viable economic environment provided by the Lagos State government to invest in the country's economy. Former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo stated this while appraising the remarkable achievements of Governor Akinwumi Ambode's 2 years in office. Victoria Labode has the details.
Said they are taking notice of the developmental strides of Governor Akinwumi Ambode, which according to him are geared towards making life more comfortable for the people. He urged the governor to sustain the good work, stressing the need for the country to do more on ensuring an enabling environment that would boost investors' confidence to do business in Nigeria.
There's money for investment in our country, but that money will not come unless we show to the outside world, to the investors, that we have conducive conditions to attract the funds for investment in our land.
Governor Ambode, who took time to recall his early days and his quest to becoming an accountant, said his determination and hard work made him to become one.
What I have achieved in my career is as a result of my resilience to become an accountant and achieve my life goals.
He alluded to the fact that the career success was as a result of his resilience to become the person he wants to be to achieve his goal in life and give back to humanity as long as he lives. In Lagos, Victoria Olabode, NTA News.
The British Royal Army Medical Corps has expressed its continuous willingness to partner with the Nigerian Army Medical Corps to improve their operational capability. The Director of Medical Policy and Operational Capability, Major General Martin Bricknell, stated this when he visited the Nigerian Army Medical Corps in Lagos. Ken Ibilwe has details.
Over the years, the Nigerian Army Medical Corps and its counterpart from the United Kingdom have had a robust military collaboration. The partnership has been in the areas of training, research, and capacity development. The visit by the Director of Medical Policy and Operational Capability is to further strengthen the existing relationships between both parties. It is also to explore other areas of mutual benefits in terms of providing medical assistance.
Our collaborative work has been to do with first aid training for soldiers and members of the other uniformed services. What we have demonstrated from that is that there is some great opportunities for wider information sharing between our two countries. And of course, our medical cultures and systems of healthcare education are very similar. So there is some opportunities to transfer and share information.
The Corps Commander, Nigerian Army Medical Corps, Major General Abimbola Amusu, said the renewed relationship provides the Nigerian Army Medical Corps, which will help in improving its capacity development.
We would benefit from training. They have started and they would continue to offer us training. So from here we'll be able to see what trainings they have. They would also learn from us because even though they're older, the Nigerian Army has had more experience in peacekeeping than them.
The Nigerian Army Medical Corps is responsible for maintaining the health of servicemen and women. The Corps is represented wherever Nigerian Army are deployed, providing medical support to operations, exercises, and trainings. In Lagos, Ken Igbeluge, NTA News.
A motivational book which outlines a real-life approach to overcoming life's challenges has been presented to the public in Lagos. Titled You Too Can, the book gives an insight into how individuals can remain motivated in the face of hardship. Jessica Wanko, who attended the book launch, has details.
224-page book with 24 chapters examines the values of proper planning, diligence, trusting God, and a positive mental attitude, among other motivational topics. The author, Ifoma Ndiolo Enaholo, a seasoned media and insurance practitioner, credits the inspiration for the book to her passion for counseling and providing guidance to those in need of it.
Need for people to know a lot of things that they don't know because of the way they are being groomed. So there's need to impact that knowledge. What happens when you are kind to people, the way it works out, the way it pays you back. It's something that you know if you practice, get the result.
George Emetuche, in his review, highlighted the need for a motivational book at a time like this. The book is different from others because it shares true life challenges experienced by the author and how she overcame them.
I so much believe in hard work. The book captured it. Those are real life principles. Anybody that picks the book, no matter your age, no matter how experienced you are, anybody that picks the book will add value. The book will take you to the next level.
It's a mind builder. It gives you a positive mindset. So when you have the positive mindset, automatically you won't want to involve yourself in something that is bad.
You Too Can has inspirational quotes and lessons outlined at the end of each chapter, which makes it easy to read and understand. The book, which is well received by critics, has been described as a must for all.
And these are our top stories this hour from Lagos Network Center. It's back to you for more on the news.
Thank you, Vera. With World Bank IMF projection of a promising economic future and Nigeria and other developing nations, it is imperative to adopt policies that will attract foreign investors, allocate more funds to critical sectors, and remove all legal bottlenecks impeding growth and development. Aisha Uba-Ali reports that this was the position of guests on Good Morning Nigeria while discussing the fallout of the recently concluded World Bank Group IMF spring meetings in Washington, D.C.
The spring meeting attracted finance and economic experts, civil society organizations, and policymakers to discuss and deliberate on issues of regional and global economy. It also devoted attention to developing policies and programs aimed at strengthening global financial system and structural reforms that will lead to poverty alleviation and inclusive growth. While Nigeria was adjudged to have made strong case for the development of the nation anchored on the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, guests expressed divergent views on how the nation can walk the talk to enhance the prosperity of Nigerians. Also, the issue of multiple foreign exchange rates must be addressed to attract more foreign investors.
And this is why we don't yet have confidence that is required to bring in much needed inflow of foreign exchange that will stabilize not just the economy and foreign exchange market, but also the capital market.
We remove all impediments, legal impediments, to allowing private sector participation. Once we're able to achieve that, and we can unlock foreign investment into the infrastructure sector, then you will begin to see that we have somewhat addressed the challenge of how much we're allocating to capital, how much is even available to allocate capital, and whether those funds are tied to any particular governmental process.
The non-passage of the 2017 budget to ensure the implementation of government programs was described as a drawback, and this is compounded by poor revenue earnings.
So that by the time your budget arrives in November, early December, they would have done 3 oversights visits, and there will be no reason for them to hold our budget for 5 months scrutinizing budget, because you need to see the level of scrutiny. Some of them actually want to see invoice and then go and check, do the Google on their thing to see who is supplying and how much price it. They go to that level. So you've got to oblige them 3 opportunities to come and lead their oversight.
On top of really the global agenda, and we're hoping very soon that it gets actualized, but it can only get actualized if issues like the budget are passed on time and Nigeria begins to deliver to its broad spectrum of people.
The need for cooperation, strengthening of micro, small and medium enterprises through capacity building, access to finance and paying attention to critical sectors such as energy were the recommendations of the guest on the program. With Africa's growth projection standing at 2.6%, which might not positively impact on per capita income, the guest expressed the need to make deliberate efforts in order to achieve economic growth and stability. In Abuja, Aisha Uba Ali, NTA News.
Succor comes the way of IDPs as federal government commences durable solution program in Maiduguri. Let's join Mohammed in our Maiduguri Network Center for details of this and more. Hello, Mohammed.
Hello and thank you, Tessie. Welcome to Maiduguri. The presidency under the Durable Solution Program for IDPs in the Northeast has organized a skill acquisition training and empowerment program in order to give the internally displaced returning to their localities a new lease of life. Yaroya Umar reports that the program is being coordinated by the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and IDPs.
Following the activities of Boko Haram insurgents in the northeastern part of the country, which has rendered thousands homeless and the need to start life all over again, the federal government introduced the program to give the displaced persons a new lease of life. One of the two separate trainings under the Durable Solution Program involving skill acquisition in cap making, carpentry, soap making, food preservation training, and granite oil production has over 600 trainees, which is currently taking place in Maiduguri. While over 100 IDPs expected to acquire knowledge on basic principles of video and camera operations at NTA television colleges have left this morning.
If you can recall, when our Director General visited Maiduguri and he paid a courtesy call to His Excellency, he informed him that NTA will collaborate with the Commission to see how it can give a training workshop so that those IDPs they can become several.
It's an effort by Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari and my Honorable Federal Commissioner Haji Sadia Umar Farouk to ensure that all IDPs were able to retain and sustain themselves by getting the durable solutions.
The Registrar and Assistant Director Engineering of the NTA television colleges, who were in Maiduguri for over a week, are sure to do all they can to give the participants the desired training. The training will be for 10 days and other benefiting states include Yobe, Adamawa and Bauchi. In Maiduguri, Yarwaya Umar, NTA News.
An interactive security meeting with all district heads of the 9 local government areas of southern Borno was held in Biu at the instance of the Nigerian Army. Haman Jabani has more.
Declaring the meeting open, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukuru Yusuf Burate, represented by General Officer Commanding 3 Division Nigerian Army Jos, Major General Peter John Dauki, thanked the traditional rulers for their support and prayers during the war against insurgency. The Army Chief explained that the military is doing everything possible to completely eradicate the activities of Boko Haram, which can be seen in the resilience and determination of the Nigerian Army. Lieutenant General Burate said the traditional institution is a reliable partner in the protection of lives and property of entire citizens. Director of Communication, Civil Military Affairs, Brigadier General Rabi Abubakar, appreciated the role of traditional rulers in the counter-insurgency war. Emir of Biu, Umar Mustafa Aliu, who was represented by Brima of Biu, Ibrahim Shehu Birma, thanked the Chief of Army Staff for organizing such an interactive security meeting and assures of the traditional institutions' continued support in the fight against insurgency. Professor Maina Ibrahim Waziri dwelled extensively on the topic traditional rulers and the way forward, while Dr. Garba Mohammed made presentation on the role of traditional rulers in combating terrorism. In Maiduguri, Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
Towards improving security at IDP's camp in the face of prevalence of suicide bomb attacks across Borno State, government has distributed security gadgets to civilian JTF guarding various IDP's camp in the state. Ibrahim Uba Yusuf reports.
Satomi Ahmed said the procurement and distribution of the security gadgets were in compliance with directive of Governor Kashim Shettima, which form part of measures to improve security at IDP's camps. He explained that the gadgets will assist personnel of the civilian GTF protect innocent citizens within the camps. The executive chairman used the opportunity to commend the sacrifice and commitment of the civilian GTF in complementing the role of security personnel, safeguard the lives and property of civilians. Receiving the items, Commander Sector 9 of the CJTF, Mohammed Saad, praised the regular support of Governor Kashim Shettima, which he said is a morale booster to them, and promised to utilize the items for the purpose intended. The gadgets include handheld metal detectors, vehicle scanners, two-way walkie-talkie, first aid box, reflective jackets, and rechargeable torchlights. The SEMA chairman promised to provide a generator and 50,000 naira. The gadgets will be distributed across all camps in Maiduguri and satellite camps in liberated areas. In Maiduguri, Ibrahim Obaisuf, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Maiduguri. Nationwide continues from Abuja.
Thank you, Mohammed. You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Let's now pause for some messages. Nationwide returns shortly. Stay with us.
Change does not just happen. You and I and all of us must appreciate that we all have our part to play if we want to bring change about. We must change our lawless habits, our attitude to public office, and public trust. We must change our unruly behavior in schools, hospitals, marketplaces, motor parks, on the roads, in homes and offices. To bring about change, we must change ourselves by being law-abiding citizens.
Workers' productivity under the change agenda in focus on this week's edition of Tuesday Live. NTA Tuesday Live. Incisive, informative, and educative. Don't miss it.
Olachi, come and receive your punishment.
I'm sorry, ma.
Olachi, come on.
I am something. You mostly depend on me for the smooth running of the domestic activities of your family.
Make sure you prepare food. That rug in the visitors' room.
Yes, ma.
Wash it thoroughly because that thing has been smelling.
I am a helper in your family and business. Many times you thank me with a slap.
I said it.
House help, gateman, sales girl, PA, and so on. This week, Professor John Bull takes a deep look at issues of assistance in life jackets. It is funny.
I doesn't want that.
This man, they look forward to give belly.
It is deep.
Showing at 8:30 p.m. every Tuesday and Friday on NTA Network International and Star Times.
Over and out. Brought to you by Glow.
Welcome to the new speed of life.
TV Guide magazine is out with fabulous Fab Funke Akindele Bello, aka Jennifer, adorning the cover. She opens a secret not known even to her family. Find out the secret. NTA turns 40 this year. The challenges, the emerging trends in broadcasting, and the way forward. Weekend Dealer 2. Meet the team behind the biggest deal on NTA. Is food still the way to a man's heart? If not, what else? This edition is hot and juicy. Meet your star faces on screen. Entertainment, fashion, young minds, social media, and great personality.
This is idiosyncratic and heterodox.
Yes, Professor John Bull is on the radar. Find out what makes this program the rave of the moment on NTA Network, and for the Prof,
over and out.
TV Guide. Ask your vendors or book your copy at every NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, still your indispensable companion.
Admission forms for the 2017-2018 academic session of NTA Television College JOS into its diploma programs are now on sale. The diploma programs are in film and TV production, broadcast journalism, and TV engineering technology. Applicants are required to have at least 5 credits, including English language and mathematics at SSC, NECO, or GCO levels in not more than 1 sitting. Application forms can be obtained from the TV College Refi JOS or at any NTA zonal centers nationwide on payment of a no-refundable fee of 7,500 naira in bank draft in favor of NTA Television College. Completed application forms should be returned to the office of the academic secretary, NTA Television College, or the center of purchase on or before 28th of July 2017. For further inquiries, please call 0806 980 9807 or 0703 660 7155. NTA Television College, training you to be the best you can be.
Yes, so no be only government go stop Lassa fever. Now everybody go put hands together to stop Lassa fever. We don't the years once more to say Lassa fever don't use to resurface for some part of this country them. So the Federal Ministry of Health say make you no panic. Now so they clean our house all the time. Go chase rats come out, and if rats don't mood for our house, Lassa fever don't come out be that. Lassa fever get 2 symptoms. One at early stage you go to bring fever, sore throats, vomiting, diarrhea, joint pain. The second stage now bunge, and now they cause bleeding from the nose, eyes, spectrum. It go even the make blood to the come out from private part, even cause swelling genital. Make we stop to the shop rats. Anyway, we rat fit enter our house. Make we block her. Don't forget say division of the universal health coverage. That to see say everybody they can pay. Our God president one may worry, want everybody make we stand in the gap. Yama no good for us. So it invite her. Sweat where they come up from person where get Lassa fever. Fit transfer the disease from one person to another. If you suspect any fever, where you don't treat it with better medicine and you no go quick, or you suspect any person where get Lassa fever, make you go any health facilities where they near you. Lassa fever must go. Now all of now go give them red card. Now Federal Ministry of Health bring on this message.
Welcome back. You're still watching Nationwide, coming to you on the network service of the NTA. And we'll make a quick stop at our Ibadan Network Center, where Ogun State government reinstates suspended labor leaders to mark Workers' Day. Fatai is our guide. It's over to you, Fatai.
Thank you, Tessie. Good evening. It's nice to have you with us in Ibadan. An early morning accident along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway has claimed a life and injured many. Correspondent Femi Afolabi says the accident involved a 14-seater commercial bus and a private Honda Accord car.
The 14-seater commercial bus and the private car were said to be coming from Lagos end of the expressway and were about to overtake each other when the accident occurred. Eyewitnesses who spoke to NTA off camera said the back portion of the one lane being used by motorists because of the ongoing rehabilitation might have caused the crash. Oyo State Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps comment.
The road traffic crash was as a result of speeding and wrongful overtaking. 1 male adult got killed in the road traffic crash, and the people that were injured were taken to Ibadan Central Hospital, where the corpses were deposited at the Oyo Hospital in Ibadan too.
Meanwhile, security and emergency care personnel were quickly mobilized to the scene, while those injured have been taken to hospitals before the arrival of newsmen. In Ibadan, Femi Afolabi, NTA News.
Ogun State government has pardoned 3 out of the 4 labor leaders sacked for contravening the civil service rule. The state governor, Ibikunle Amosun, announced their reinstatement at the 2017 May Day rally in Abeokuta. Lekan Agbonde has details.
Governor Amosun's announcement of the decision to pardon the 3 labor leaders formed the high point of the Workers' Day celebration.
And Nona Balogun. We have now, those of them have been pardoned, and we are going to change their commitment to retirement with their free benefits.
The labor leaders were part of those indicted by a panel of inquiry set up by the state government for alleged misconduct during the 2016 World Teachers' Day celebration in October. The governor noted that the 4th person, who apparently is the chairman of the NLC in the state, Hakim Ambali, was exempted because he had already taken the case to court. In a message from the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, he described industrial peace and harmony as key element in the federal government's drive to take the nation out of recession. In Abeokuta, Lekon Akbode, NTA News.
Politicians have been advised to follow worthy examples and legacies of the first civilian governor of Osun State, late Senator Isiaka Adeleke, to build a better society. This was the central message to the gathering at the 8-day prayer for the late lawmaker at his residence in Ede, Osun State. Correspondent Tope Labi says dignitaries from across different political divides attended the event.
Traditional rulers, Muslim clerics, friends, relatives, and close associates of the Adeleke family converged on Ede to offer prayers for the repose of the soul of Senator Isiaka Adeleke, describing the first civilian governor of Osun State as an enigma whose memories would live on in the heart of many. Clerics said, "Every soul shall taste death, hence no one can take another's life, as Adeleke's death was an act of God." There were eulogies for the late politician, whom was said to have invested so much in the welfare of the people during his lifetime.
One of the trustworthy ones who sees what he really means and what he will do.
When he was a philanthropist, he was able to touch life. So we should take away that from him.
Very articulate politician who is able to share fellowship with everybody.
That's our package from Ibadan. It's back to Tessie in Abuja for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you. Living just for today without any plan for tomorrow as regards the environment may spell doom for posterity. To this end, the Federal Ministry of Environment is engaging climate change advocates and the academia on climate mitigation and adaptation. Mia Ogidi tells us more.
Pastoralists and farmers now scramble for green vegetations, food security being threatened due to shift in crop cultivation, rise in sea levels, inconsistency in weather patterns, desertification, coastal erosion, and drying up of surface water are some indicators showing the effects of climate change in Nigeria. The increasing rate of these continue to threaten human existence, and they are mostly induced by human activities, such as deforestation, gas flaring, and the use of gas-emitting automobiles. After participating in the 2015 Paris Convention on Climate Change, President Muhammadu Buhari made a special provision in the 2016 budget to mitigate climate change in Nigeria. Leveraging on this commitment, backed by Article 6 of the UN Framework Convention, which mandates country parties to engage in education and access to climate information, the Ministry of Environment launched a knowledge fair on climate change.
With the signing of the Paris Agreement, it has become nationally determined contribution. You know, in that particular document, we committed to reducing emissions by 20% below business as usual by the year 2030, unconditionally.
Seated here are some of the best brains in the climate change sector to develop literatures on climate change mitigation and adaptation, targeting rural dwellers and the academic environment.
The individual level, yes, you can plant a tree, you can raise public awareness, you can gather people and teach them about the effects of the environment and ask them to do something. They are so afforestation, reforestation, agroforestry at the individual level. In terms of energy, you switch off your light when you don't need it.
Findings at this meeting will be a guiding document in sensitizing the public on activities that are unfriendly to the environment. Mia Ogede, NTA News.
The Controller General of the Nigerian Prison Service, Mr. Ahmed Jafar, has said pilot projects on harnessing biogas have commenced in Port Harcourt and Kirikiri prisons to reduce the use of firewood for cooking. He stated this during a meeting with the Director General of the National Agency for the Green Wall, Goni Ahmed. Abdullahi Suleiman Yaji reports.
Conceived
as an initiative to address land degradation and desertification, boost food security, and support communities to adapt to climate change. The National Agency for the Great Green Wall is seeking the partnership of the Nigerian Prisons Service to further tackle desertification.
We have begun about 3 pilot projects for biomass. Namely, in Port Harcourt, we have advanced, in Greece, we have also advanced to the use of biogas. And if we are successful, we intend also to harness this biogas option. So we have come here today to partner with UNC. How do we together work towards looking for alternative energy?
Nigerians were also advised to embrace alternative sources of energy and plant more trees to safeguard the environment. Abdullahi Suleiman Yaji, NTA News.
Benin Network Center is our next point of call, where Agatha has the next set of reports. It's over to you, Agatha.
Thank you, Tessie. Good evening, and many thanks for joining us in Benin. We'll start with the May Day celebration here, where Edo State government says the welfare of workers will be given more attention, while existing relation between labor and government shall be strengthened. Governor Gordon Obaseki was speaking at May Day celebration at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium in Benin. Goodluck Inaini was there.
Labor unions in the state converge on the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium in Benin City with high hopes and aspirations despite the economic recession.
The area of employment of youth, creating of jobs, these are expectations we need from the governor of the state.
Governor Obaseki, who commended the workers for giving their best to uplift the state, said government is not unmindful of their sacrifices. He said his administration will make workers feel comfortable, adding that rehabilitation work has begun on the Civil Service Secretariat, while the staff training school will be equipped with modern facilities for the training of workers.
I promise you that we will not owe any worker anything, any salary that is due to them. We will ensure that all outstanding promotions are done. Everybody who deserves to be promoted will be promoted.
Chairman NLC Edo State, Comrade Emmanuel Adimokun, and his TUC counterpart, Comrade Marshal Ovwe, wants the state government to focus on infrastructural development, workers' welfare, and make justice and equity their watchword. High points of the occasion was a march past featuring the various labor unions. In Benin, I am Goodluck Inaini, NTA News.
And away from celebration of Workers' Day, partnership between the British and Edo State government in business and fight against human trafficking topped the agenda of the interface between the Speaker, Edo State House of Assembly, Dr. Justin Okunobo, and the Deputy High Commissioner of the British High Commission, Laurie Bufix. Obayotoba Presai reports.
The British Deputy High Commissioner Laurie Bufix says the state government must continue in its effort to make the business environment conducive for investors. The Deputy High Commissioner also informed the Speaker that British government has made available £5 million to aid Nigeria in the fight against trafficking in persons.
Here, I was particularly keen to discuss with you, Your Excellency, the issue of trafficking, which, as you know, is an issue that our Prime Minister in the UK is particularly interested in. And I know that there's a lot happening in the state and that you've been committed to this.
The Deputy Speaker, Elizabeth Ativie, who received the Deputy High Commissioner on behalf of the Speaker, said the British High Commission's support for Edo State government would go a long way to strengthen the existing cordial relationship between Nigeria and Britain.
Coming to also talk with us about how we can reduce drastically the issue of human trafficking in Edo State gladdens our hearts. We on our own as a state, we have been working on the issue of human trafficking.
The working visit by the delegation from the British High Commission to Edo State is expected to last 2 days. In Benin, Obayotoba Presai, NTA News.
And in Ondo State, the government has inaugurated a 9-man technical committee that will expedite action on the reactivation of the abandoned Olokola Free Trade Zone and the Olokola Liquefied Natural Gas projects. The committee is headed by a former managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Funsho Kupolokun. Doris Olumoko has details.
The Olokola Free Trade Zone project was conceptualized by a former governor of Ondo State, late Dr. Olusegun Agagu, with support by the then President Olusegun Obasanjo. The project was, however, abandoned without reasons. The resuscitation of Olokola Free Trade Zone project and the Owena Oil and Gas Limited is another effort of the Oluwarotimi Akeredolu-led government towards revamping and rebuilding Ondo State. The governor, who was represented by his deputy Agwola Ajayi, said government's priority is a massive turnaround in the economic and social landscape of the state through private sector-driven economy. He said the Olokola project can engage more than 4,000 engineers, decongest Lagos, and bring glory to Ondo State.
It's a road to redemption, where and how Ondo State how we clear the passion from civil service states to a state that can be a self-reliance and self-sufficient for all of us.
Make sure that we do everything to reactivate some of these projects.
Chairman of the Technical Committee, Engineer Funsho Kupolokun, assured that the team will do its best to reactivate the two companies and change the economic situation of Ondo State. In Akure, Doris Olumoko, NTA News.
And that report by Doris ends our package from the Benin Network Center. Tessie, it's back to you for the rest of News Nationwide. Good evening.
Thank you, Agatha. The Presidential Amnesty Program will continue to focus on human capacity projects for the full actualization of peace and stability in the Niger Delta region. Special Advisor to the President on Niger Delta Affairs and Coordinator of the Presidential Amnesty Program, Brigadier General Paul Boros, said this when he met the Director General Voice of Nigeria, Osita Okechukwu, in Abuja. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday completes this report.
The Presidential Amnesty Program was designed to disarm ex-agitators in the Niger Delta region, empower beneficiaries of the program, and to enable them to be fully integrated in the society. Acknowledging the power of effective information dissemination, Brigadier General Paul Boro was at the Voice of Nigeria to synergize efforts between the two organizations.
There is this understanding now between representatives of the Niger Delta people with the government. We are now talking wholeheartedly on strategies to employ towards the final resolution of the issues of the Niger Delta region.
Commending the sustainability of the program by President Muhammadu Buhari, Osita Okechukwu says the transition from frivolous expenditure of money and the polity to an era where funds are channeled to appropriate places is a right step in the right direction.
So I appeal to the youths, my brothers and sisters in the Niger Delta and the Southeast, to kindly join President Muhammadu Buhari in migrating out of the bazaar era, when money is doled out and no project is executed.
Over 5,000 beneficiaries studying across the globe are expected to graduate this year. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday, NTA News.
Piracy on the increase in West African waters and 30 civilians plus Kurdish-led fighters killed in an attack by Islamic State militants near Syrian border with Iraq. For details of this and more, let's join Chimdima Ndubisi on Global Tidbits.
A report released by Oceans Beyond Piracy indicates that armed attacks on ships operating in West African waters have increased. Pirates attacked 95 ships in the Gulf of Guinea in 2016, as against 54 attacks in 2015. Also, in place of cargo theft, it's discovered that pirates now focus on kidnappings, with 96 crew members taken hostage. The report puts the total economic cost of this maritime crime at almost $794 million. And the United Nations Children Education Fund, UNICEF, has estimated the number of children suffering from acute malnutrition in Somalia to be at 1.4 million. Consequently, they are 9 times more likely to die of killer diseases, which are widely spreading. In another development, the United States military has confirmed that its third missile defense system is now operational in South Korea, with capacity to intercept North Korea missiles. That's Global Tidbits. Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
Federal government congratulates Anthony Joshua for becoming unified world boxing heavyweight champion as Super Sand Eagles crash out of group stage of FIFA World Beach Soccer in Bahamas. Kene Omabodike brings us up to speed on Sports Update.
The federal government has congratulated British professional boxer of Nigerian descent, Anthony Oluwafemi Joshua, who recently defeated Ukrainian Vladimir Klitschko to become the unified world heavyweight champion. In a statement issued, the Minister of Information and Culture,